Unpacking the Buddha's First Discourse. Episode 12. Purified Knowledge. First, what do we even mean by unpacking? We can define unpacking as the intense scrutiny of traditional Buddhist and Zen texts. A scrutiny that often breaks down the text sentence by sentence, phrase by phrase, and occasionally word by word. And why even unpack at all? Because not all of us have the opportunity to regularly engage with a living, breathing, enlightened teacher. Understanding that in the Zen tradition, it's this engagement that substitutes for the critical reading of the traditional texts. And so, for those who don't have the opportunity to regularly engage with a living teacher, there must be a return to the traditional texts as teacher. And with that return is the understanding that the texts are best approached as sequences of riddles, or perhaps as sequences of landmines. And these riddles must be reconciled, these landmines cleared, if we are to truly make progress. Let's continue. Consider the following text excerpted from the Sutta, setting in motion the wheel of the Dhamma. But when my knowledge and vision of these Four Noble Truths, as they really are in their 3 phases and 12 aspects, was thoroughly purified in this way, then I claim to have awakened to the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment in this world, with its Devas, Mara, and Brahma. In this generation with its ascetics and Brahmins, its Devas and humans. The knowledge and vision arose in me. Unshakable is the liberation of my mind. This is my last birth. Now there is no more renewed existence. And in aiding in the unpacking of this brief excerpt, we might consider a handful of questions. First, what are the 3 phases and 12 aspects of the Four Noble Truths that the Buddha refers to? And why might their thorough purification be significant? Next, how does the Buddha describe the scope of his enlightenment in terms of beings and realms? And what does this suggest about the universality of his realization? How does the inclusion of Devas, Mara, Brahma, ascetics, and humans expand the scope of the Buddha's awakening? What might this imply about the universality or significance of his enlightenment? What is meant by the statement, "Unshakable is the liberation of my mind"? And how might this differ from temporary states of peace or clarity? And finally, how does the phrase, "no more renewed existence," connect to the Buddhist concept of nirvana? And what implications does it have for the nature of liberation? And so we're now into the meat of Buddha's first discourse. More to come.